All right, hey everybody, this is Brennan from Vortex Edge. I'm one of the instructors down here. Today we're coming at you with a video featuring the Defender-CCW red dot. And I've got it mounted up to my M&P 2.0 pistol. This is the 4.25-inch version. This is my daily carry. This video is going to be less of a how-to and more of showcasing this red dot in action. All right, guys, so the first thing we're going to do today is just throw a quick 0 on this red dot. Should be pretty close to on, but I just want to confirm that, make sure we're there, and then we'll jump into the rest of the day and shoot a bunch of other drills. All right, little 5-round group. All right, so I'm definitely impacting a little bit low and to the left. Not my tightest group there either, but I'm gonna bring that right and up. We'll make that adjustment, fire another group, see where we're at. All right, so back here at 10 yards. Let's see, I wanna come to the right a little bit. We'll try that one on for size. Here we go. All right, definitely pushed one a little bit low there, but it looks like our 0 is right on. So that was our old group and got 5 new ones in the X-ring. I'm good with that. Let's go shoot. So I'm just hanging a few USPSA targets. Big fans of training on these targets. 1, I shoot USPSA, but 2, it gives me a pretty good, realistic sized target. So not just shooting bullseyes the whole day, but actually kind of opening it up, giving myself scoreable zones, A zone, C zone, and delta. So alpha, Charlie, and delta is what we usually call that. We'll start off just shooting some drills on a single target, and then we'll probably move to shooting some multiple targets. All right, let's do it. So the first thing we're gonna work is just some single shot draws. Just kind of making sure that everything is good to go. With concealment, I think draws are really important to work, especially in different clothing. So making sure that I can clear my outer shirt, access the gun, and still present it on target, get an accurate shot quickly. So let's just give this a few runs here. All right, that was an alpha. Alpha again. Alpha, dead center. 2 more. All right, had kind of a funky grip on that last one. Gripped the gun a little bit too low, but I think we're still good to go. So. Yep, so we've got 5 alpha, good to go there. I always like to kind of just start with some warm-up, something like that with mechanics. I will go ahead and pace these up, and we're just gonna move on to the next thing. All right, so I broke out the shot timer. Always train with a shot timer. That way I have solid metrics as far as time goes as to what to work on. So I've got my timer set to a delay and a random start. And I'm just gonna do the exact same drill again, 1 shot draw to the A zone. And this time we'll put it on a timer and kind of see where I'm at. Again, not really pushing speed here too much, just trying to go for a really consistent draw to first shot every single time. All right, here we go. All right, that one might have been just outside. That was at a 112. Let's try it again. All right, set one low, made it up in the A zone. First shot 109, second shot 171. Try it again. All right, right down the center. That was in a 108. 1 more. All right. Push that first shot a little bit. Let's try it one more time. All right, there we go, and the last shot's in a .98. Usually that's pretty typical for me. I usually start right over a second, and then with a little bit of practice, work it down to about sub-second from concealment. So there's one I sent low, made it up. One I threw a little bit high, made that one up as well. Everything else is A-zone, so I'm okay with that for kind of a cold start this morning. But there's definitely improvement to be made there, for sure. So the next thing I'm going to do, so still kind of related to the draw, I want to just work into shooting 2 shots on paper from the draw. So a lot of people just work single shot draws, and that's okay. That's something you can work in dry fire, but when you have to shoot 2, it forces you to make sure that you have a good grip so that your gun's returning to where you started from. So we'll do a very similar thing. This time I'll shoot 2 shots. We'll look at the overall time, but mostly I'm kind of concerned about that first shot split. All right, here we go. All right, that was 2 alpha, missed my shirt a little bit. It happens. 157 was my first shot in a 19 split. Try it again. All right, we have 2 in the alpha. First shot was a 114. And second shot was a .2. All right, that was 2 alpha again. First shot 107. Second shot was a 15 split, so I'm at 1.22 for 2 shots, and we'll give it one more go here. See if we can get that first shot under a second. All right, first shot was definitely under a second, so we've got a .97 first shot and a 1.4 split, but I presented right on the target, so we're over here in the Charlie, which is not so good. Gun came right back to where I was looking though, but I was looking in the wrong spot. So I'll just paste this up. The thing with draws is, I feel like I can accomplish most of it in dry fire. Just working the mechanics of getting the gun out of the holster, that's kind of the main thing. I like to spend the majority of my range day working stuff that I can't work in dry fire. So things related to vision, how my dot's behaving, and things related to recoil control. That's kind of the 2 things I'm going to focus on. So with that being said, we're going to just jump right into the next drill, which is shooting doubles. Really, really helpful drill. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to be presenting the gun on target, okay, kind of at a high ready, and I'm going to be just pressing the trigger twice as fast as I can. So what I'm not doing is I'm not taking the time to aim the second shot. I'm simply pressing the trigger twice, and what I'm looking for is how my dot behaves. This is one of the reasons that red dots are so cool, is because it shows me exactly what the gun is doing under recoil and what my grip pressures are doing. So if I see my red dot doing anything other than tracking straight up from 6 to 12, I know that something is off with my grip and I can correct it. So this is how that's kind of going to go. I'll give myself a starting beep just so I can measure my split times, and I'm looking for a nice tight group here at 7 yards. Here we go. All right, so let's see, if we check out the timer here, so I've got a 19 split, a 20 split, an 18, a 20, and 18. All right, so we'll check out the target. And I'm okay with that, right? So mostly I've got kind of up and down deviation. That tells me that I have good consistent pressures on the grip. Probably can work on my timing a little bit. I would like to see these 3 down here kind of matching up with these. Could be a number of things. Could be me kind of putting some input into the gun, driving the gun down on the second shot. Probably need to just let the gun return a little bit more. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy with that. Easily all A zone, but definitely some work to be done there. So now that we've kind of shot it at 7 yards, I'm going to push back to 15 and see kind of what my gun's doing at 15. So now we've pretty much doubled the distance. We're at 7, now we're at 15 yards. Going to shoot the exact same drill again. And again, just the exact same thing. I'm looking for consistent dot tracking straight up and down from 6 to 12, and looking to be able to keep those rounds really close to each other. That tells me that my gun is returning to the same spot it started from. All right, here we go. All right, I can already tell that first shot I absolutely pushed into the gun, so we're gonna see a low shot on there. But about similar splits, we've got a, let's see, we've got a 19 split, a 20 split, an 18 split, a 20 split, and an 18. So keeping about the same cadence that we did at 7. Let's check out our hits though. Yep, so exactly what I suspected. So definitely pushing into the gun a little bit, trying to get that gun to return. This is that shot that I pushed off. So there's a second shot in my first string, likely due to too much firing hand tension for me. That's usually a problem that I deal with. But for the most part, we're still back there shooting 20 or less as far as splits go, and we're still in the A zone, with the exception of one Charlie that I definitely pushed. So I'm pretty happy with that. The gun's returning pretty well. Main thing here is I've got to trust that the gun is going to return and just kind of let it do its thing, and not influence it too much. All right, so let's push back to 20 yards. Same song, next verse. Let's try this again. Target's smaller now, so any movement that I have is going to be kind of magnified on target. Here we go. All right, felt pretty good about that one. So 10 shots, I've got a 3-8 split, a 3-3, a 3-1, a 3-1, and a 2-7. So definitely added about a 1/10 of a second or so to my splits. Really trying to focus on just letting that dot return. That's the biggest thing for me. Still can feel a little bit of tension, and yep, it looks like I pushed a couple low and left. This is a really hard thing to do at 20 yards. Really hard to trust that your gun will return where you're aiming it. Couple things here. I probably could use a little bit more support hand tension or support hand pressure. That's probably going to help keep those shots a little bit closer to the middle of the target. And then again, I have a bad habit of pushing into the gun, and so I've just gotta work on that. So I'm going to pace this up. I want to give this one more shot at 20 yards. All right, last group here. All right, so definitely had one low again, but the last few I was really happy with. Splits were a 4-4, 3-9, 4-3, 4-3, and 3-9. And yeah, I'm much more happy with that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the A zone, and just 3 out. Saw this one go a little bit high, just a timing issue. These two on the left were from the same double. Just kind of allowing myself to look in the wrong spot, just off to the left. But for the most part, I'm happy with that, right? If I could shoot under half seconds at 20, 25 yards or so, I know I'm doing good things with my grip. This is always something that I work on when I come to the range, pretty much no matter what. So wanted to give you guys kind of an insight to that drill. All right, so the next drill we're gonna do is a build drill. And what a build drill is simply 6 rounds into the A zone at 7 yards. Really dig this drill because it puts together kind of all the shooting things, right? So number one, I've gotta nail my draw. So I've gotta have a good reaction time, gotta make sure that I get my shirt out of the way, get a good grip on the gun, and be able to build that consistent grip that I was just using to shoot doubles. So I've gotta arrive on target with that grip. And then I've got to put it together with tracking my red dot straight up and down, and letting that reticle just kind of paint the A zone. So I don't need to see a solid still reticle like I'm shooting bullseyes or like I'm zeroing my pistol, but all I need to see is that red dot kind of streaking straight up and down. So we'll put this together with a build drill here. Draw, fire 6 rounds, going for all A zone, and we'll see what we can do in terms of the time as well. All right, here we go. All right, so a little bit of trigger freeze there. That was a 235, so first shot 127. Yep, so a little bit low, but they're all in the A zone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So hopefully we've worked out the trigger freeze and see if we can put together a little bit better of a run here. This is exactly why I like this drill though, is it forces everything to kind of come together in a short, low round count drill. All right, here we go. All right, so a little bit slow on the trigger. First shot was a 123, 27, 22, 20, 20, and 20. So pretty consistent with the splits there. Good grouping here. Again, about a fist size group of the A zone, which is what I like to see. But I'm pretty sure that I could push the draw speed a little bit quicker. When I was doing the draws, I think I was getting more around like a 1.1. And I'm about a 1.2, 1.3 right now. So definitely that's the lowest hanging fruit. So I'll try to get a little bit better draw here and see if I can't put together a little bit better. Here we go. All right, so that's more like it. So that's a 197 with a 110 draw, which is exactly what I was going for. Let's see, 19, 16, 19, 18, and 15. So splits looked a little bit better there. And I'm happy with that shot placement. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 clean. These two rode a little bit high, but I'm okay with that because I was kind of looking in this upper half of the A zone. So sub-tube second build drill from concealment, 197 with a 110 draw. Nothing super impressive there, but I'm happy with that after a couple of runs. So the next thing we're going to work is target transitions, and what we're going to do is I've got 3 targets set up. I've only been shooting on the one, but now I'm going to incorporate all of them. So main thing with target transitions is I want to focus on decreasing the amount of time it takes me to get from one target to the next target. So if I'm going to draw and deliver 2 to each target, what I don't want it to sound like is kind of this pop pop, pop pop, pop pop, right? Because there's a long pause in between each target. So at this distance and these target sizes, 7 yards, USPSA targets about maybe a yard apart, I should be able to kind of blend that all into one seamless shot cadence. So what I wouldn't want to hear is something like this. Right? I'm hanging out too long in between targets. So everything in shooting that I do, if I'm not pulling the trigger, it should be done as quickly as possible, and that applies to target transitions. So what I'm going to do is shoot each of these targets twice. I'll put it on the timer, look at my overall time, check out the time that it's taking me to transition between each target, and see where we can shave off some time. All right, so total time on that was a 251. So I had a 140 draw, definitely could make up some time there. A 20 split, it took me 0.23 to transition, a 21 split, a 26 transition, and a 21 split. So my shot cadence was pretty even. Pretty happy with that. And we check out the hits. I already had 2 shots on these first 2 targets, so I've got 4 alpha here, 4 alpha here, and 2 alpha here. So good start to it. Let's pace them up. Let's do it again. I know I can shave time off the draw. Total time of 251. I know I could beat that. All right, here we go. All right, 243, so a little bit better, 134 draw. And again, a 21 split, a 24 transition, 19 split, 24 transition, and a 21 split. So I'm keeping it right there within about 0.05 of a second, which is right where I want to be. And let's see our hits, 2 alpha, 2 alpha, and 2 alpha. So I'm pretty happy with that. All right, last thing that we're gonna do is I'm just gonna throw this together. I'm gonna add 6 more shots in and a reload, okay? So reloads are not really something that I work on the range a whole lot. I like to work those in dry fire. Don't find it has a lot of live fire value. What I'll do though is pretty much exactly what I just did, 2 shots on each, and I'll just add a reload and engage each of the targets one more time. So make sure this gun is good. Make sure I've got a full reload mag. All right. Had one drag off. I knew exactly when it happened too. All right. So 4 alphas here, all good to go. That dang delta, man, that's gonna haunt me. So 3 alphas and a delta, and 4 alphas. All right, guys, so that kind of wraps up our drills for today, our range session. Hopefully you guys got a good look at the Defender-CCW red dot in action. Guys, it's kind of implied in the name CCW. This is geared towards defensive use, concealed carry use, but just because it's mounted up to your concealed carry gun does not mean that you shouldn't be out at the range, pushing performance, seeing what's possible, and becoming a better shooter. Good gear absolutely matters, and we're huge advocates of that here, but we're also really big advocates of getting training and making sure that we know how to run our gear, especially when it comes to something as important as our concealed carry stuff. All right, guys, if you have any questions about this red dot or anything you saw in the video, please leave a comment down below, and we'll see you in the next one.